Hello, Zachary.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just want to start this one off by saying this is not a coffee and tequila. So don't be asking where my husband is. He's sitting right next to me. But me and Troy are here today because Britney Spears had a surprise wedding yesterday.
Zach and I were both invited, so we want to tell you everything that happened behind the scenes.
Let's start here. Okay, since you brought it up. Okay, I am very happy for her. Extremely happy for her. Oh my gosh, seeing the joy on her face has like lit
Mhm.
me up. I've been like floating on clouds today, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel a weird, um, irrational jealousy that we were not invited? As somebody who she's never met, I was a little bit jealous that I
No,
was
like
not there.
I've felt it all day. Like even just know, like when they like describe what happened, like Madonna being like, "Oh, I left so sweaty." Like I can't deal with it. I can't. I need to know what happened in that tent.
I am, and I wonder if we'll ever get all of the pictures right, or if she's going to just be recycling these ones because she's already posted her wedding posts on Instagram 5 times
Mhm.
each. She keeps deleting them and reposting them. So I wonder if we'll get any of the other ones because there's a wedding photographer there, right? But
Gotta be. I was laying in bed and I got an alert on my phone. It may have been a TMZ alert, unfortunately.
mm,
And then people just started texting me. I was getting DMs from people, and I thought it was fake. I thought it was gonna be like
yeah,
I was like, this is gonna be like a false alarm, or like maybe she's like out wearing a dress and people think it's a wedding dress and it's like just a white dress. Like I really thought it would be fake, and yeah, it was
it,
like the Beyonce album drop moment.
it feels like it, right? So I saw
Yeah.
them. I saw the picture of them like riding around the Rolls Royce, and he's like driving. He looks like the limo driver to her Rolls Royce, and they were just
Yeah.
driving around. And I thought that was a little weird at first because a Rolls Royce that's a wedding car. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson was going to give each of his kids a Rolls Royce for their weddings. And so I thought that was a little fishy. And then the next day, I remember that, just like you, there was had people DMing me pictures of like the tent in the backyard, and like there were people taking pictures of the helicopters going over taking pictures of the tent. And then I think it wasn't even that far after that was the Jason Alexander thing was like that was popping off. So
Hmm.
I was like, it was a stressful day for
Yeah.
me. Okay, for me, just not for Brittany, just for us.
You're
Um,
like, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day.
Listen, I mean, we're dressed up here tonight. We're ready. We are celebrating Britney Spears' wedding, but it was a stressful day. Okay,
It
first
was.
off, we hear that like there's a wedding going on at all, right? And that was like crazy. That was
Yeah.
craziness. So I. I was like, I don't know exactly like you. I didn't know if it was real. I didn't understand it. I was trying to like put the pieces together. And I was like, well, because I guess she got away with it. Her wedding
Yeah.
date didn't release, and we all know during her wedding to K-Fed that date had been released or had leaked,
Hmm.
and so they had to like do Plan B.
I feel like the Jason thing was like the kickoff of
Yes.
the media circus surrounding the wedding. And then I
Mhm.
feel like from that moment on, it was just nonstop updates and coverage. And like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I was just pulling Twitter down like over and over and over and
Yeah.
over. And I feel like every time I did, there was like a new photo or a new like, you know, insight or whatever. Like it was really, really exciting.
It was really exciting. Thank God for Brittany the Stan on Twitter also, because that's the page I was just refreshing over and
Oh my
over again.
God, I
The one with Brittany's
know.
blue picture. Because it was wild yesterday. It was like there was so much information breaking all at once. Jason Alexander was hopping the fence, literally running through her compound. I don't understand. Can we talk about the Jason Alexander
We
part?
have
Just like
to.
we'll just get it over with, okay?
Yeah.
Jason Alexander was on Instagram Live running around her fucking compound, just screaming her name. And he made it through the front gate. He made it into the tent, into the backyard, upstairs, into the house. Like, how did he make it so far without anybody tackling him or anything? Like, there's a security guard on the Instagram Live, like, showing his little gun. But, like,
Right. And he was like, "Hey
he,
man, you gotta leave, man. Like this man is inside Britney Spears's home. Like, sir, do you know whose
yeah,
wedding you are putting on today?
yeah.
This is Britney Spears, and this man has broken into her home, and he's on Instagram Live showing her the rooms of her house on live,
Yes.
and He had a knife.
A knife,
What
exactly.
the
Yes,
fuck? He had a
yes, and he was
knife.
a knife fully showing the rooms of her house, as if like her house, wasn't already an unsafe place for her because of, it getting bugged,
Right.
through her dad. She already wants to find a new place to live. Now he's like shown a little bit of her house and the layout. I was putting together the layout a little bit in my head. I was like, okay, that looks like the gym. That might be the gym right there.
Yeah.
And it's just wild that because that's such a big compound that he was there. He had to have been there a good bit. And
Yeah.
it's so wild to me that nobody stopped him, and he's like fully screaming her name. And we don't know what room she was in. We don't know if she was like there getting ready or if she was somewhere else, And he could have done anything. Again, you said he had a knife. He could have done anything to her, That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, and like I know that you know this. Like the Britney fandom in the past, I would say like, well, basically since the conservatorship ended, it's
Mhm.
sort of splintered. And it's like there are people who believe that Britney is completely free, completely fine, that there's nothing going on, nothing to see, everything's
Yeah.
great, let her live, blah, blah, blah. And then there are people who believe that she's like in all this crazy danger and whatever, and that nobody can be trusted. And Jason, in some weird way, became like the voice and the face of these conspiracy people
Yeah.
who were like online being like, yeah, go get her, go save her. He's doing this for us. And I mean,
It's
the comments
weird.
were crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just like, it felt so surreal. The whole day felt surreal. The whole day didn't even feel like it was really happening. I kept sending you voice messages saying, like, this feels like a dream today. This doesn't feel like it's like something that's actually happening. Like Jason Alexander running around, like they're setting up the wedding. Nobody's tackling him. He's literally calling Cade. You can see Cade like right across the driveway and he's screaming Cade's name and like, and then he gets tackled at some point. They arrest him. They haul him off to the cops. And I thought for sure, or I didn't think for sure, but I was hoping for sure that wasn't going to like ruin her day, because I was really worried that like she was already. We already know our girl is super nervous at all times, and I was really hoping that she wasn't going to be like just a ball of nerves and like this was going to send her over the edge. Right? I was really scared about that, but I don't think it did. I think she was okay. I think she weathered it pretty okay. I think they kept it from her. If they did, when do you think she found out about that?
I
think she heard him screaming her name? Say that.
You're right, because he
daddy
was screaming. Who's screaming, Cade? No, I've been thinking about like, how did she find out? How much did they tell her? Did they even tell her? Because I remember reading that quote. I don't know where these people are getting these quotes from on Twitter of like, quote, Britney says she feels fine and isn't scared, end quote. And I'm like, who told you that Britney said that?
Where's the source? I'm like scrolling through the comments. I'm like, I don't see the source here.
Right. And it's everybody being like, source with a million question marks. But yeah, I don't know. I agree. I was so nervous that it was gonna like make her nervous or make her unhappy or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we kind of get past the Jason Alexander thing. They did handle it. Fucking Matthew Rosengart is like a god. He really is, Daddy Rosengart, and put that statement out. He's like, we're gonna pursue this to the fullest extent of the law. I'm putting on my tux right now to head to the wedding.
Where should we start?
The venue, Britney's
Britney's
Thousand Oaks.
Should we start with the tent?
Let's start with the venue a little bit. Let's do, because they fully did this up fairy tale style. Like I was shocked to see the outside like Cinderella carriage right outside of her house with all of the flowers like decorating the balcony and everything. This was fully, it's exactly like Britney Spears. It feels fairy. It feels every time fairy from the Onyx Hotel tour, right? I almost expected her to come out in the every time outfit. It was so pretty. I was so happy for it. And inside the tent it was all pink and it had a bunch of flowers and then she had like the touches of wood for the church pews in there. And it was just so cute and it felt like Britney, right? Like Britney has a little bit of she very much has Lynn Spears' style. A bunch of dolls everywhere.
The dolls. I'm surprised there weren't dolls. Gonna be honest. I'm surprised that there weren't porcelain dolls.
So I was looking for pictures of her living room, and her living room had and I don't know, I have to go back and like double check to see if there were dolls ever in this case, but there was an empty case that looked like it was a doll case, and that was completely empty. I wonder if she like put the dolls in the closet for people's arrivals. I totally would. I do see these Brit. I'm gonna hide them if there's any like straight bros coming over to my house. So
She's like, put my good dolls up now.
put them up and put them up,
Put them
Sam.
up. Ugh.
It's just so pretty, you know. It was so pretty. I'm glad she did it at her house. I feel like that felt like the safest place to her. You know, she already had a venue the last time, and it got leaked and it got spoiled for her. So they did a really good job. Whoever did it, like keeping it secret until the day of the wedding. You know, have to give them props. Whoever like really orchestrated that. The arrivals, man. I was just that's probably what I was most excited for yesterday, and just scrolling again and refreshing my Twitter and seeing every new arrival that was popping up and hearing all the rumors of who was supposed to be popping up. And, you know, fucking Paris Hilton, Kathy Hilton, Selena Gomez was there, Madonna. I was like,
Drew.
Yes, Drew Barrymore made me so happy to see. I was so happy to see her there.
I know. And like every arrival just felt like, it just felt like more real. Like when Paris showed up, because I think Paris was like the first photo. And when she showed up, I was like, oh, this is like, for whatever reason, it just didn't feel real yet up until that point. Like, it still felt a little weird. I remember you and I were texting and being like, this feels like kind of strange right now.
Yeah.
And then when the people started showing up, I was like, oh, this is like very much real. Like Madonna wouldn't have left her house and gotten dressed if it wasn't real. Like,
she put on a full sundress and everything. She was there. She had her sunglasses on and she was off a perk a little bit, you know. She showed up.
Yes.
So she invited, I don't know, let's talk about the guest list a little bit because
Okay.
I was surprised to see some people there and surprised not to see some people there because Selena Gomez, she like shouts her out all the time. Has she met Selena Gomez? Because to my knowledge,
like award shows though.
Okay.
But I don't know if they've ever.
But I know she loves Selena Gomez's music, and like Glory was very heavily influenced by Selena Gomez's music. So I was a little bit surprised to see her there. I'm like, are you friends with Selena Gomez like that? And I feel like it was just her. All of the people that she was hinting at in her Instagram comments for the longest time, right?
I know. And that's the thing about Britney. She always has like she knows the punchline sometimes months before we do.
Yeah.
And she's like comfortable with that. And I just think that that's really interesting. Like she doesn't care if people know. Yeah. And sometimes it's like it's a long form joke, to say the least. Sometimes a whole year will go by and then we'll finally get that punchline and we'll say, oh, the whole time that's what she meant. But yeah, it was like the guest list felt very much like people that she's been hinting at. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I was just like thinking also about the conversations that they were at, right?
Yes.
Like, the stuff that they were talking about in private and the stuff that they probably, you know, people like Drew have wanted to say to her.
Yes.
For so long.
They were all having drunk girl conversations together. We'll get to the after party. A couple of I expected to see Kate Hudson there. I wonder if Kate Hudson just couldn't make it or if she was off the list. Her family wasn't there. I wasn't surprised there. You know, her mom, her dad, her sister. I heard that Brian was invited.
I think he was invited and didn't show up.
Did he just? I wonder if he just didn't show up or if she called him and said, don't show up. I wonder how that is. I'm a little bit toxic here. This is where I show my toxic colors, is that I've always kind of championed their relationship a little bit. I know he's done bad. I know he's been shitty. I know you watch the clips back in their documentaries together and their interactions, and they're a little bit toxic, right? But those are the only two that both knew exactly how their mom and dad were. Like, they both understand it. I think they just both see it very differently, and she sees it for the toxic thinking that it is. And I think he's still very much like, be mama and daddy's good boy, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I honestly kind of started thinking differently about the relationship when you and I recorded. I don't remember what we recorded, but we talked about Glory and like his involvement in her life during that time. I'd never really thought about, but I mean, that has to account for something.
I just think he was somebody who never really asked questions, never really questioned the conservatorship, and also never really like stuck up for her, right? Like, so he just he was just like the bystander all the way around, and definitely like was problematic because of that. It's just their relationship has always been really fascinating to me. So I wonder kind of where it stands now. A couple more people kind of left off the list, or not left off the list, but they just weren't there. Her kids. I thought that one was really strange. That also stressed me out yesterday when I was hearing all the news and hearing that the kids weren't going to be there, because that came through her lawyer, or her K-Fit's lawyers, right, saying that they weren't going to be there.
So can you tell me your theories on this? Because this is what I've gotten the most questions about, and I feel like I
Okay.
have to say something about it. So what do you think?
I can tell you what I think a couple options are, right? I think they're 15 and 16 years old. This probably doesn't sound like fun to them, right? That could be it. They could just decide not to do that, because I think their custody arrangement right now is that Jaden and Sean just go whenever they want. And I think they can probably decide if they want to go to the wedding or not. Another thing could be they might just not like Sam. They might not bless this wedding. They could have, whether it's a teenage mindset about it or not. That's also another option. So where are you kind of leaning?
Well, I thought the same thing. I thought, well, maybe they just are not into him. Like maybe they're just teenage boys and they're protective of their mom, and she's been through a lot, and maybe they're not into them being married, or maybe, and it could be for good reason. Like we don't know. I also was looking around for other people's. I didn't see anybody else young.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it wasn't like the kind of event that they would even like want to be at, because it did feel very like adult and drunk. I don't know.
I think so. I think she would have still made allowances for her own kids, right? But what I would not be surprised with is what if they had already gotten married before and had a small thing, like a small beach wedding in
Right.
Mexico or in Hawaii, and the kids were at that one.
Yeah.
That's also a possibility, right?
Oh, that's
So
yeah.
I think there's just a bunch of different options. Obviously she's not snubbing her kids. She's not posting a
Yeah.
picture and blurring them out and being like, can't see the fake. She's.
I want to think that that's what it is, that they had a little.
I think it was just
thing.
I hope that she was okay with it. She seemed pretty happy though. So the I'm trying to think about who else was left off the guest list. Felicia wasn't on the guest list, but it was a very, very small wedding again. This was it looked like less than 100 people to me.
I mean, but could you imagine though being like the one dancer?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, I mean, of her 20-something-year career, you're the one dancer that she was like, I want you to go. Oh
and
my
the
god.
one dancer that gets an action shot with her too, like a full action shot with Britney Spears. Right?
I know, and obviously her favorite picture.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe her favorite picture
yeah.
of the night.
Oh yeah, it's also been photoshopped a couple times, and I've been tracking the differences on each Photoshop.
I thought that it was surprising that Selena was there and not Miley, but then I was like, oh yeah, Miley's working with her entire old team.
Ooh.
So that's probably
but she has still shouted out Miley since then, right? I think that some of these people were probably invited. They just maybe didn't go. It also is how quickly was this thing put together. She got engaged in September, I think, or at least that's what we saw. So I wonder when they started really putting it all together. Let's talk about the dress.
Okay.
What'd you think? What do you want to say about the dress?
Okay.
Versace was also on the list. Donatella,
Cristofari.
Yeah.
So I thought the dress was gorgeous. It was, again, very Britney, very simple, very feminine, very classic, just very girly, but not over the top. It wasn't a cupcake dress or anything like that. It was very Britney. It was very simple and just chic. And I thought she looked really pretty. It was I will tell you that just in general, with the dress and everything, the makeup of her hair, the look of the venue, it was interesting to see her vision of things.
And you could see her vision. You could see it.
Totally. It was just so her. I was like, wow, this is so Britney.
Yeah.
It couldn't be any more Britney, but I thought the dress was really pretty. I love that she probably knew that her hair was going to go in a messy bun, so she was just like, it doesn't really matter.
It did feel like Britney, right? This whole setup, all of the design elements, everything felt exactly like Britney Spears. It felt very, I think she just still has this really natural connection to to the Britney era Britney, where things are patchwork. And those gloves are not, they were not in the Donatella sketch, because I've been studying that Donatella sketch, and it had sleeves, like lace sleeves, and
Mhm.
she took the sleeves off. Those were probably too itchy for her. She didn't like the sleeves, and she put on these like fingerless like lace gloves, and that felt very Britney. There was a
So Brittany.
I am surprised she didn't have the days it slept in makeup on, but she obviously
Yeah.
didn't care to do anything more than like a simple eyeliner and simple lipstick, right?
Her
She
look was
everything is so simple.
extremely, like you said, Britney era.
Yeah,
Britney era, the house. Like it was very not a girl, not yet a woman to me. Like
yeah,
her hair, even the color, like she got her hair colored, and like that color blonde was so like Britney era, and
yeah. And
her
there's
little
and
side bangs.
she was tanned, but like the red tan that she had just gotten a tan, and so she's still a little bit red. And she shows up in her dress like that anyway. Didn't try to put makeup on it or anything. Didn't try to hide any of that the splotchiness.
Right.
That was just, and it's just her, right? She quickly took
Yeah.
her shoes off. You know, she has a bunch of different looks in this. She has her wedding dress, which is freaking. I wasn't like sold on it at first. I had to look at it a little bit more because I'm just not
Mhm.
somebody who probably will never wear a wedding dress, right? I it's just not my taste in wedding dresses.
Yeah.
So I was
It
watching
was
it a lot.
very simple.
Very simple. But and I was like, is this her? Does this feel like her? And it does. You know, you go back to her wedding to K-Fed, and that wedding dress was super simple too, right? Like
Hmm.
to Jason Alexander, she got married in a damn t-shirt and jeans. It's just
Yeah.
it's just her. I don't think the wedding dress was the biggest draw for her in this, right? I feel like just the overall event and the people going to be there and her getting to party was the whole experience was far outweighing the wedding dress. But I did like the wedding dress a
Yeah.
lot. The bands are gorgeous. The diamonds in the bands are gorgeous. They were so
Yes.
just beautiful. Do you want to start with the shot of like looking down the aisle at them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the flowers. I love the
Mhm.
tint. I love the colors. Like, that pale pink is so Britney,
Yeah.
and it is stunning. Like
It is.
honestly, it's really beautiful.
Do you think he saw her in the dress before this? Do you feel like she's a tradition girl where she's making him wait to see the dress, or is she
Oh
like
yeah.
stomping down the hallway
Oh
and showing
yes.
him anyway?
Yes. She was running all over the room and like looking around to make sure he wasn't
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Totally.
She walked herself down the aisle. I thought that was super
Hmm.
interesting, and I'm
Me
really
too.
happy about that. That's such a statement, too.
I
Such
know.
a
It's so
statement.
cool.
There's a picture of them at the altar. It's at an angle, and you can see Sam Asghari's face, but you can't see hers. I want to see the other angle. I need it flipped,
Yeah.
right? Why are we looking at Sam? I'm sorry.
I know. Like honestly, Sam could be cropped out of all of these photos and I wouldn't know.
No shade, but
Yeah.
I was fully into her journey tonight. Okay,
Hmm.
this was I was fully into her journey, and this Sam is very much posing in every photo that he's in. He is not on her energy level. She is like does not care,
No.
having the Britney time of her life, and
Yeah.
he is absolutely even the he even does one of those like goofy girl pictures where he puts the veil on top of him, and he's like, oh, so crazy, so
Yeah, but he's like
crazy,
so
but like
crazy. You
posing still at
crazy
the same
girl.
time. He's like wants people to post that one and say how wild he is, how like fun, you know.
He's modeling.
Do you think he lets
Definitely.
his hair down at all, or do you think he's always like on?
If there's a camera around,
Hmm.
I think he's on. I
Okay.
think that he's one of those guys that like he just can't help it. Like he literally has to like smize into a camera. Can we talk about the outside of her home?
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
my god. Like I mean
Flowers.
it's literally like a fairy tale.
Yes. And I have no doubt that there's a bunch of blurry pictures on her own iPhone that we will get plenty of. She is absolutely thinking she can do a better job than the photographer ever could, right? So she's going to be taking pictures of every little thing. She took a picture of every one of them damn little flowers, right? Like
Oh,
every flower
she told
got its own
them
selfie.
you leave every single flower where it is, and we will see her spin
Do you think
in
they're going to
those
take them
flowers.
down, or do you think they're going to like just we're going to see them wilting in all of her future Instagram
I
posts?
think that we're gonna see them bolting. I'm not kidding.
I hope
I
so.
can't
I really hope
imagine.
so. I
I
really,
really
really
honestly
hope
can't
so.
fathom that she told them to take them. She's like, keep those flowers exact. She's gonna spin on that balcony. I promise you. I see it.
them on the balcony. Them on the balcony kissing. This was a very pretty picture. This is probably my
Yeah,
favorite of their like posed wedding pictures.
me
Um,
too.
it's really gorgeous because then the very next one is she said, "Sam, get your ass to the living room. I love a living room picture. We're gonna take a living room picture. She's like,
Yes.
we're gonna absolutely get videos of her spinning in her wedding dress in the living room and the
Oh
foyer.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, next I think this is where she changes into her dress, and so I think she's with Madonna here because it looks like they're outside of the
Mm.
tent, maybe in like the
Mm-hmm.
courtyard, right? Um,
Oh my god. It's
these
like I
Madonna Britney
can't.
moments, they sent me into the
Oh
ground.
my god. I can't. It's like if only Madonna came, it would be worth it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like if
yeah.
only Madonna showed up, it would have been worth it. It's so special.
Troy,
It's
this is
just
Pride
special.
Month. This is Pride. Okay,
Yeah.
this is absolutely Pride, and she just looks so. I'm glad she doesn't have a bunch of makeup on because she looks
Mhm.
fantastic. She like looks so good. There's a picture of her and Madonna recreating their kiss, doing a little peck, right? And she's doing her little like fairy
God.
thing where she's like her hands are straight out and she's got her little pixie hands
The
sticking
little
out.
pixie hands are like,
Yeah.
wait, wait. I know. And I also, yeah, I was gonna say too that I love that she's not wearing a shit ton of makeup and she's not like all contoured and Kardashian. Like it's not that's like not her.
Yeah.
And I
And
love that
nothing
she
wrong with
went
it, but
like
again, like you said, that's
right.
just not her.
It's not her vibe. It would be weird if she came out looking like all beat to death with like a crazy contour and like a tiny little nose. And like it would just be weird if she came out looking like Kylie Jenner. She looks like
Yeah.
herself.
I can't help but compare this wedding to her one with K-Fed, and the vibe is the same, right? Her vibe is
Yep.
the same, where she wasn't entirely put together in her K-Fed wedding either, right? It was still a
Hmm.
little bit like her hair had a little bit of grease in it, it was a little bit wild. If she could have, I wouldn't be surprised if she was going barefoot in that wedding dress, right?
Totally.
It's just there is a specific vibe with Britney, and that's what I love so much about her is that she just is Britney. That's her. It is just her, and she doesn't pose for anything, and doesn't And especially as she's getting older and finally finding her freedom, she is going to do things exactly like she wants to do them, and exactly how she's comfortable. And this just reads as comfort to me, right? This wasn't the
Yeah.
Paris Hilton wedding because Paris Hilton got married not too long ago either, and it was a spectacle, right?
Right.
Like things to look at everywhere. And here, this is just Britney getting to throw her most favorite party that she's ever thrown, and have the
Oh my
best fun.
god. Her little steel magnolias party.
I think so. There's another picture where she's wearing the red dress, and Selena Gomez is like in her lap, basically, going to
Oh,
pull
I
that one
love
up.
this picture.
Okay,
I
this might
love
be
this
one
one.
of my favorites. This has to be like
Yeah.
top three for me. So
Yeah.
Brittany and Sam are sitting on a couch. Sam has his arm on her back, very much aware that the camera's going off at this moment.
Yeah,
Selena Gomez
totally.
is like pouring over Britney Spears' lap. They're very much having a moment.
Oh my
She's one of
god.
all of the guests who are going to pour her heart out to Britney and say, "You're so strong. You're such a survivor. You're so brave." That's exactly what she was saying.
Yes. Oh, I love this picture. Keep going.
Brittany's got sunglasses on. I zoomed in because I was like, is she wearing her regular glasses? But those are sunglasses. So she's got her party sunglasses on. She's very much ready. Matthew Rosengard in the background taking a selfie of them or taking a picture of them. Like Kathy Hilton is saying something on the mic. She's got the mic. We don't know what she's saying, but Paris Hilton is very much enjoying it, very much laughing.
Yeah,
It's just like surreal, man. Like this feels so crazy, and I want
it
to hear
is.
every word that was being said at that moment.
The way that Selena's holding her knee is like I
Yeah,
could cry. I can't even look at it. It's too much for me. It's so sweet. And yeah, Kathy's giving some like nonsensical speech.
and they are not paying
Kathy's
attention.
wasted.
Oh
No, nobody's paying attention to her. And it's amazing. And yeah, I love that Brittany in this moment is in full peace with me.
yeah. Can we talk about the piece
Like,
of me vibe that she like gives off in this? Okay, and I love that she's going through eras in her reception outfits. Okay, this is
yes.
very much her piece of me bathroom. She's got her hair pulled up, right?
Yep.
Every time somebody probably looks at her, it's either up or down.
Yep.
She's got the short skirt. She's doing her little dances. Like,
She's
however,
yeah.
I would bet money that Selena Gomez is pretty drunk right here. And I love
Me
seeing
too.
a drunk Selena Gomez having drunk conversations with a drunk Britney Spears, right?
Yeah.
Do you think
Like
Sam's the type of guy who gets drunk, or do you think he's staying pretty sober throughout this?
he seems like he stays sober and like
Okay.
he'll nurse a beer for like 40 million years, and you know,
Yeah.
Sam seems very boring to me.
I love that. I love that. Oh,
Right?
poor Sam. To the happy couple. Let's.
Mm.
Yeah, this picture is just freaking iconic. I absolutely love it.
Let's talk about the one of her and Sam like
Yes.
embracing,
Okay, so there's
right?
one where again, I just don't think he was on her level and
Right.
didn't know what level she was gonna be on because she is sweaty drunk. She's sweaty drunk. She has her
Yes.
hair up. She's very much like wrestling his neck and like screaming
Yep.
that he's fucking gorgeous or something. That he's the most
Yeah.
gorgeous man she's ever seen. It has to be some
Yes.
sort of something like that. She's screaming at everybody.
Oh,
Selena
God.
Gomez is like clapping her hands out. She's like, "Free Britney, we love it."
Oh my God. I love her in this picture is like,
Yeah,
if you don't have a photo like this at a wedding, more or less your own wedding,
yeah,
you didn't have fun, right? A
absolutely,
sweaty
absolutely.
arm around somebody's neck, like you're like in the moment, scream talking in their ear. I mean, she is living. We haven't seen her like this carefree and happy. But what is the story here? Like, okay, so she had on the red dress. She's in her underwear, correct? Correct?
It has to be.
She's
It has to be. There's a
naked.
little string of something I see.
Is it a bikini?
I hope it
Is it
is.
lingerie?
I hope it is. I hope it is. So they didn't do. I heard that they didn't walk out to a song.
Mm.
They just kind of walked out, and I want to think that they walked out similar to this. That she was already a little bit wasted and ready to walk out. Is that Ansel Elgort in the background? Because I've seen a lot of the. Are we sure about that?
I mean, I don't
You
know
can come.
how
You can
it.
come over and look if you want to. Sorry, he's like listening to everything we're saying, and he has not seen all of these yet.
Hi, Alistair. If that's not Ansel Elgort,
That's weird, right?
then
It
I'm
also looks like
blind.
Scott
I mean,
Disick right next to him, but I know that's probably not Scott Disick, but it looks
yeah,
very much like Scott Disick.
yeah. It's. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
It's him. That's him.
That has to be somebody's
It's
plus
fucking.
one, right? So Sam has a little glass of something, and I have to imagine that was his drink for the night, right?
He like refused to eat the wedding food because he like wanted like a plate
Oh,
of like ground beef and fucking brown rice or something.
do you think they did? We haven't seen any wedding cake stuff. Do you think they did wedding cake stuff?
Oh
Do you think
right.
they cut a cake
Oh
together?
my God, the food. The
The
food. What
food.
do you
Where
think
is the
they
food?
ate?
I need to know. I need to know because we know it wasn't Jamie's Southern kicking in your mouth. You know, he didn't get to cater this one.
It wasn't Crawdaddy's. And I know
What's it
that.
crawdaddies for the no cheese grits in this wedding?
And maybe maybe it was another nod to her previous wedding and they had chicken tenders. Remember everybody made that such a big deal?
Gosh, but I love it. It's just her. It's just her. We had chicken nuggets at our wedding.
That's fun. Like, who
I know. I
cares?
love it.
Oh my God. People were so whatever. But yeah, I would love to. I hope that we find out that detail of like
I
what
need
they
just.
ate. I need
Well, this
to
is
know
the
that.
problem, right? This is the problem that I had is with the K-Fed wedding. We saw the whole episode. We saw how everything was designed, how everybody was acting. I need
Mhm.
this. I need a timeline of events. I need somebody to have recorded an episode for this. And Brittany just like cross out Kevin's name and just write Brittany and Sam chaotic or something, right?
Oh
And we
my
get just a
God.
little less 30-minute episode of that at least because I just need to be involved in this night. I do.
Yeah. And if
Another
Ansel
one.
Elgort was involved in this night, I need to. You and I need
Was
to be
Ansel
involved in it.
Elgort involved in this? I don't get it. I don't understand. There is a picture of Drew Barrymore center, Selena Gomez to her, oh my, I'm on one side, and Britney Spears on the other side. Okay, this photo is wild. This is my number one. This is my number one of the night. This photo is insane. Okay, and there are a bunch of different. Everybody's
God.
drunk. Everybody's drunk. It's been going on for a couple hours at this point. Drew Barrymore is definitely in the moment, clinging to both of these girls, closing her
Oh
eyes,
my God.
lifting her head like she's having a come to Jesus moment. She is. This is a moment where she think they were obviously having drunk speak. around
Mhm.
this time. And she fully believes that they're having, all of the girls are closing their eyes together. They're all embracing, and they're all having this moment of, oh, we were the child stars who went through hell and made it out at the end of the tunnel. And we
Yeah.
are survivors. We're brave. It's
Yes.
very much how you would think Drew Barrymore would speak, right?
Yes.
Her wisdom speak. And
Yes.
Selena Gomez and Britney Spears are on either side of her, very much not vibing with that. They are both clubbing in 2002.
Yeah.
Like, they're both like, Britney is having the best. She's like grinning ear to ear. She is probably
That
like laughing her
smile.
ass off at this moment. Yeah. Okay. This picture of Britney with the jacket and this is very 2003. This is very like in the
This
zone
is
era Britney.
wild.
Yeah.
Like the way she looks in this photo, it just proves that you can say whatever you want about Britney. You can say whatever you want about her makeup or her hair, that her athletic shorts or whatever. It truly takes a like twist of hair and a curling iron for her to become 20 years younger and look incredible.
That's
You know what I
literally
mean?
it.
Like
Yeah.
that's a testament to how stunning she is because she looks 25 years old in this picture.
Ah,
This
ah.
literally looks like her, like you said, in 2003. It is
And
wild.
I'm just in love. I am just in love. There's absolutely a bikini bottom underneath there because there's that little string again. That has to absolutely be like a
Oh
tie,
my
right?
God.
She's got a fucking
Of
bikini on
course.
underneath this jacket.
Of
Um,
course
she's
she
barefoot. She's
does.
been barefoot the whole night, and we see the little tattoo on her foot. It just like feels like Britney, and it makes me so fucking happy. And I love seeing the joy on her face. Listen, even in her Instagram posts, like people, it still isn't like 100% Britney at her most joyous, right? And we
Mhm,
haven't really seen this Britney smile for
mhm.
so long, right? Look at all
Yeah.
of the
Oh my
life.
God.
Like you can't really see her eyes, but I bet there's tons of
Oh,
life in her eyes there. There's so much life in that smile. Um, it
wow.
makes me, this one makes me so happy. And then Selena Gomez has drunk, sweaty face, you know,
Yes.
like very much
Yeah.
like having I love that Selena Gomez. I think it was, okay. Calm down, Zach, a little bit. Okay. I think
I
Britney and
know.
Selena Gomez were the pair tonight. They were together the whole night. I have to believe that they were on
Yeah.
each other's level. They were hyping each other up. They were both like, "Let's go get shots," you know.
Yeah.
And this was the full circle moment that I needed. You know, this is merging all of my different childhoods together.
It's a Yaya sisterhood happening here. I mean,
It's
honestly,
so good.
this is divine. I mean, it
Yes,
honestly is. And like you said, it's like generations of child stars, like all inspired by each other. I mean, it's like just so, oh, there's so much power in that picture.
it's
And
just
it's,
so good. But I
oh my
just am.
God.
I fucking think it's hilarious because Drew Barrymore is literally so into it, and the other two just are not that serious about it. There were conversations. There had to have been conversations about Drew. Like, you should come on my show. We should do an interview together. We should do something together. I hope that
Yes.
conversation was had. I want Brittany to do something with Drew Barrymore much more than I want to see her do something with Oprah. You know?
Drew is the only answer. I mean, if you want somebody who would do that interview with genuine compassion and
Yeah.
like a real understanding of what she's been through, even if it's not identical, it's Drew. Like it's only Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, and I think seeing Drew at this wedding has definitely sold me on Drew, if I wasn't
Yeah.
already. And this picture, and there's a video that like kind of is a companion to it, and the video is them
Mhm.
doing a little verse of Vogue, strike a pose. There's nothing to it, Vogue, and then Drew Barrymore's the only one throwing her hand up, and she said, "Brittany."
And then she's like, "Wow, am I the only one that said that?"
And then they all take a picture together. It's Donatella, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, Madonna, Selena Gomez, and Drew Barrymore. Britney Spears is not even the center point of this picture. It is Madonna, right?
It's Madonna.
Madonna,
Yeah.
Madonna put herself front and center for this whole moment,
She
and Britney was
did.
more than happy to be involved, like a side piece to this moment,
Totally.
right? She is just having like she's surrounded by the people that she sees as icons, right? Like you got to put yourself in Britney's mindset that she sees these people as icons. She sees Selena Gomez as an icon, you know?
Yeah. This is like this picture for me feels the most, I guess, like a fever dream. Like
Yeah.
I'll be looking at this picture until I'm very old. just staring at it in shock that it happened. And like, it is, I mean, it is insane also, by the way, that Madonna did center herself in the photo and like it's perfectly fine.
And there's 6 people. There's not even a center, but she still is your eye goes right to Madonna.
And she knows, and that's incredible. And it's just, and I also just want to say I love the Britney wore choker. Again, very Britney. Yes. I love the choker. It's just so her. But yeah, that wasn't a Donatella thing.
Donatella didn't give her that choker. Britney threw that thing on. And I love that this was her gal squad, right, at this wedding.
Yeah.
This was her gal squad, and she was with them all night long, from what we can see. Apparently she sang. Did she sing Stars Are Blind with Paris Hilton? Was that ever confirmed? Mm-hmm. Okay. So she sang Stars Are Blind with Paris Hilton. I've also heard that she sang Bad Liar with Selena Gomez. Mm-hmm. And this just fills my heart with joy that she is fanning out at her own wedding to these other people, right? The Paris Hilton gets to go to Britney's. Oh my God, they all sang Toxic. It was like they danced. Britney, Madonna, and Selena Gomez like danced to Toxic together. It's freaking crazy, man.
Oh my God, I can't. Like,
I need these on video. I need to see them with my eyes. I need my eyeballs to see these moments.
If there was like a time machine invented and somebody asked me, like, where do you want to go? I'd be like, a couple days ago to the wedding.
To the wedding. There's a picture of Madonna and Britney Spears hugging. Did you see that one?
Yes.
In the tent. Okay, so that one's a really good one as well.
I love this one too.
Yes.
Britney's smile in this one. Look how big.
Fucking cheesing.
She's smiling. She
man.
Is so happy. And Madonna looks so like maternal and...
Yes.
There's just that picture is my favorite one.
She went back to like Mother Madonna moment in that, and Britney is definitely this is like Queen of Pop, Princess of Pop. It has to be. This is it. I wish everybody would have thrown their shoes off with her.
And I like the one of Selena dancing and they're like throwing rose.
Yes, that was a full moment where that was mid lyric on one song. What song do you think that was?
Oh God, I don't know. That is mid lyric. You're right. That's funny. It's got to be it's probably a Madonna song, right?
It has to be something. I don't know, but she was definitely like, and I have to imagine that Britney was on the other end of that, and they were like doing they were holding their hands out at each other and screaming the lyrics to each other, like.
Yes,
they were the pair. I want to see that friendship continue. Okay, I know there's a lot of opinions about Selena Gomez, but I absolutely love her, and I think she is so fun, and she would probably be so fun to hang around, especially at a wedding.
I think she's funny too.
Yes,
like she's really funny. Do you follow her on TikTok?
And she has a really dry humor, which I really love.
Yeah, she's got a dry sense of humor. She's sarcastic.
Okay. There is another picture where, so I think they left pretty early. I think Sam and Brittany took off in the Rolls Royce pretty early. It was like between 10 and 11 p.m. By that point, they'd probably been going for a while, right? And there's a picture of them in the back of the Rolls Royce. Brittany's probably super wasted, and Sam looks sober as can be. He's taking pictures of the paparazzi. He's like covering Brittany. She's got a boot fully up in a fucking Rolls Royce, like sitting up, like blocking her face.
Like Sam is the guy who on their wedding night would sneak off to like work out.
He probably did. He probably thought he was so crazy putting the veil on himself and then wearing the shirt that said Brittany and Sam. He's like, so crazy tonight. So crazy.
That's the silliest thing he's ever done, for sure.
Silliest thing ever. It was fucking hilarious that he was driving the Rolls Royce like the day before, right? Basically her chauffeur in that damn... where do you think they went on their honeymoon? Where do you think they're going to?
It's like easy to assume that they're going somewhere beachy, right? It would just make sense. But like, I also wouldn't be surprised if they did something super random since they go to the beach all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they went to like, but random for Britney. So like Paris or something.
Do you think he's like fed up with the fucking beach? Do you think he's tired of going to Hawaii?
He must be. He's like, babe,
he's like, have you ever been to... He said, Brittany, have you ever been to Italy? And she's like, yeah, tons of times. Why? He's like, well, I have never. Can we eat a plate of spaghetti tonight for our honeymoon?
She's like,
mind if we do that?
They have amazing beaches.
She's like,
He's like, I
let's
love
go to
beaches in
let's go to
Italy.
Greece and we'll go to the beach, right? This is always wanting to be at the damn beach. I love that for her. I love that she's just living life on her own terms right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to like read her post about this. Is one of the many posts she's been posting about it and then deleting.
Okay.
She says, "Wow, holy crap, we did it. We got married. Jeez, it was the most spectacular day." I was so nervous all morning, but then at 2 p.m., it really hit me. I love that she gives us details like that. It's like, I was very, very nervous, and it was 2 p.m. I just want you to know when I saw something outside and there was a leaf, and like, we'll get all of the detail. We're getting married. I had a panic attack and then got it together. The crew who created our home into a literal dream castle were fantastic. The ceremony was a dream, and the party was even better. So many incredible people came to our wedding, and I'm still in shock. And this is where we get her girl squad. This is I
This
love
is
all of the
great.
shout outs she's about to give too. Drew Barrymore, my girl crush, and Selena Gomez, who is, by the way, prettier in person, if that's even possible, both came. I was speechless. I kissed Madonna again, and we danced into the night with Paris Hilton. Thank you, Donatella Versace, for designing my dress. I felt so beautiful. Thank you also to name, for my jewelry and makeup. I think we all fell on the dance floor at least 2 times. I mean, come on. We were all voguing. Sam Asghari, I love you. I love that he gets like the last mention. Love you, Sam Asghari.
She's like, and
She's like, I can see her do like, you're cool. You're cool, man.
yeah. They were voguing. Zach, they were voguing.
They were voguing. They did a vogue together.
Oh,
they did it.
my
They sang it
God.
together. I just want all of these moments on camera. I think one of the dancers from Piece of Me has a cell phone video out there that does that. And she's right next to Selena Gomez, and they're both like dancing on the dance floor. And I just need to see them as a pair all night, right? With Drew Barrymore flapping her cape behind them and just like, running after them.
I just want to see like the dance. I want to hear the drunk conversation, just like that drunk dance floor conversation when you're screaming in somebody's ear, like, I stepped on something. And the person's like, what? And you're like, I stepped on something. Like everything you're saying is nonsense and loud. And it's so fun.
Troy, this is the stuff that makes me just so jealous that we were not there. And I feel like this was my chance to go to Britney's wedding, and I will never do it again. This was the night to go
thing is,
to it.
apparently, all it took was for us to walk in. I mean, we literally could have gone by just simply walking inside her home, apparently.
And if we hadn't been screaming Britney's name and screaming at the top of our lungs and making a scene, we'd have probably made it past too, right? We'd have just gone and sat in a pew and be like, oh, we're just here early. Just like wearing this, I would wear this jacket. And then when we were on the dance floor that night and she came up in her jacket, I'd be like,
do you follow Britney Vault?
yes. The funniest fucking page. Like the stories are so fucking funny. Okay.
The best. If you're a Britney fan, and you don't follow Britney Vault on Instagram, like do it immediately. Their coverage of the wedding was so funny.
So funny.
They posted this clip that made me think of you because it was from Stages. And they were like, whatever her, not Rob, but like whatever the other security guy, his name was at the time. Like,
yeah, the one that passed away.
Yes. They were like, he would have never let this happen. And they showed the scene from Stages where the person jumped over the wall. And he's like, I want bodies.
I want bodies.
Everywhere.
I want bodies over there. I want bodies over here. This can't happen. Absolutely. That's so fucking funny too. The wedding was it was wild. I am assuming we're going to get so much more content. We haven't really I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of this damn wedding, and it's just everything's gonna be. She's already posting day 1 of her honeymoon, and she's already posting about her damn wedding. So we're gonna get tons more. That wedding photographer is going to drop off the pictures, and she's going to post all of them.
I think I was also a nervous wreck the whole day. I was really freaking out all day long, and it had me spiraling and thinking all these crazy things. And I'm like, is this real? Is she even really there? Does she really want to be doing this? Is Sam forcing it? Like, I was just like losing my mind. But then finally,
get your ass down there. I just printed this shirt. This Britney same shirt. This came from my bank account, Britney. My bank account.
Some crazy shit. I was like, Sam has her locked up somewhere. I swear it. I was losing it.
And listen, I still don't think the people around her are 100% right. I still think
Me neither.
something feels off that I
Yeah.
can't even discuss because I don't know how to put my finger on it yet, right? I don't think she's
Mhm.
like locked away in a tower like she was. I think she is just I think she's figuring out who to surround herself with right now, you know? And I think that's going to be a years long lesson. And she's just got to, that's the part of being free. She's just got to figure it out herself. Yeah, I guess we can kind of start wrapping it up here because otherwise I'll keep going.
I know.
As
I know.
Britney fans, did you guys also feel the FOMO of this wedding? Did you feel like you were snubbed an invitation? Out of all the Britney fans, you should have been the one who was invited.
Tell us how bad it hurt you.
Do you think
Please.
that she gave them a Blackout 2.0 listening party in the driveway of her home?
She ladled some gumbo into a bowl and played it for him.
Here's that, Brittany, we're hungry. Here's some gumbo, baby.
Yeah, hold on, baby. Let me get you some sweet tea with that.
I did want to bring, I forgot to get a Red Bull for this recording, but you know she had a fucking couple Red Bulls. She downed a couple Red Bulls during this night. Yeah, and I wish I would have
For
seen those
sure.
in the pictures too.
And she was chain smoking behind, flower arrangements.
Who did she, that's a question I have for you right before we go. That'll be our closing question. Who did she smoke behind the tent with? Who did she have smoke breaks with behind the tent? Do you think? Okay.
Yes.
It's a good one. That's a good one. And then Selena
And
Gomez stumbled
they
back
had
there and was like, I
salacious-
have shots.
Her and Paris went and had a smoke break and they talked about dirty
Lindsay.
things. They talked about dirty things that they couldn't talk
I
about.
wish Lindsay would have shut up and they could have, because if Lindsay was there, they would have recreated that picture.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they would have.
Lindsay's like, I'm busy with my podcast. I can't come to your wedding, Brittany. I'm busy with my podcast.
Yeah, she's saving children.
Hello down. Don't even. We're done, guys. Thank you for
This was
listening.
fun, though.
Yeah, so thank you for listening to. I think we're gonna do this as a joint episode of Dunzo and Troy and Zach Hayog. So thank you for listening so much. What's your favorite part of the wedding? Let us know. DM us. I want to talk about all the things about the wedding in the DMs with you guys. So please DM me about it, okay?
Me too.
And I will talk to you next time. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Another thing, I want the wedding playlist also. Like, I need the wedding playlist.
I need to know. Can I tell you one song that I know was on it for sure?
Yeah, we're going to keep going. Okay, go ahead. But I'll see if I put this in there.
That song that she loves that she sang when she got her hair done in Singles. You make me feel. What's the name of that song?
I never know the name of it. I will never
something?
remember. I will never remember the name of it. But I just see her like make me feel, and doing the tongue
And like rolling her little hips.
and then Manuela's doing the. Oh, Manuela, I love you forever.
It feels so good.
That feels so good, Manuela. I love you. Love it. I fucking love it. Oh my gosh. I saw that Yeah was on there. They were playing Yeah. They were playing like 2000s hits. So I love that it turned into a 2000s club.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. And I have to imagine it was just her phone hooked up to the speakers.
It was like early 2000s playlist, and Britney was
Like,
the whole
Selena,
playlist.
I love this song of yours. Okay, we're going to do this song, Selena. And she gave the full like Instagram explanation to each of the songs that she played. It's like, this is why I love this one. And I hope she was spinning on the dance floor.
Whatever playlist they played from Spotify, Britney was on every single one of them, and I love that.
So we finished recording and then looked at Instagram, and Brittany has already posted her wedding video. Like, that was what a turnaround time. Wherever she is, it's daytime right there. Because she's like laying on the beach and fully going through her Instagram and posting this wedding video. Yeah. So
And thank God we stayed on Zoom and didn't hang up, because this video is. Ooh.
We have already watched it, but we're going to react to it, okay, for y'all.
Yes.
Just for y'all. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play it in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're starting, yeah. Oh, man. I love how Sam's videos are very professionally done, and hers are iPhone videos.
But the moment of her in the carriage, being zoomed out, that is, I can't even.
I feel like I want to cry, fully want to
know.
cry, just seeing her sitting in the carriage having her fucking moment, man.
I know. Oh my God. Oh my god. And
And
also
she
her
has
walking down the aisle.
by herself. She walked herself down the aisle. And all the sparklers, everybody out by the limo with the sparklers, you
Oh,
know.
it's so special.
Let it
Oh
replay.
my.
Or you have to do it
Okay,
again.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
it's robes because Sam has a robe that says Sam. I was wondering if that was a towel or not. So she has a robe that says Brittany. They don't have velour
yeah.
tracksuits this time.
No, just big giant Versace robes.
Just
So
oh
cool.
God, I love that the entire thing was Versace.
Versace. Oh,
Oh my
so good.
God.
Her smile when she's walking out with him is like great.
If I wasn't sold on the dress before, I'm sold on it with her. Every shot with her in the carriage. I'm sold on the
Yes.
dress. I'm sold.
Yes, it's stunning. Brittany,
And
you
the
look
jewels.
amazing.
Gosh, I wish she was wearing the yellow canary diamond from Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Just for the most expensive diamond you can fucking find. Troy, the wedding
So,
video.
oh my god. Oh my god.
I think
Wow.
we were chatting right before we saw this Instagram video right after we had finished recording that like there's a lot of that the Britney fandom is kind of divided down the middle where everybody there's half of them that think it's a conspiracy, there's a big conspiracy going on and that she's not really free, and then there's another half saying that she's free, just let it go. And I think the important part of this is that legally, personally, financially she is out of this. She's free. And whether she's surrounding herself with people who are taking advantage of her or not, as a free person, as we all get to, she just has to figure out if she's surrounding herself with the right people or not. You know, as a
Mhm.
big girl, big 40-year-old woman, we just have to trust that she's gonna figure that out on her own.
I agree. Like we just there's nothing us obsessively speculating about it and turning everything she does into this like sinister, there's something more to it thing is like not great and
Yeah,
not healthy, and all it is a different version of the speculation that she had 10 years ago. Like it's not good. And you're not like I don't know, I don't think that the people speculating about every single moment of her life are like they're doing her a disservice. Like they
yeah,
are, like in moments like this, like she is clearly the happiest we've seen her in a decade. Let her be like
yeah.
let this moment just be what it is. She's happy.
Nobody was forcing her arm down the aisle. You know, she
Yeah.
even made the conscious decision to walk herself down the aisle. I think just look at this video, see that she is at least making herself happy. Okay. And
Yeah.
however that unfolds is how it's going to unfold. And we trust Brittany. We trust her. Okay.
Exactly.
And we love her. We support her. And we're so happy to see her this way. And Britney Spears, if you happen to watch this, we are so happy for you.
Elated. Truly from like the deepest parts of our spirit, we're happy. Like
From the
beyond.
bottom of our repaired hearts.
Our repaired hearts.